Mental beauty is meant to elicit a new way of thinking, living, and breathing. Mental beauty is meant to equalize the weight of physical and mental well-being. Mental beauty is meant to accept your whole self and others, regardless of ailment, compromise, or imperfection. Mental beauty is meant to be recognized and redefined as a do-over in thoughts, mindsets, perceptions, and future insights. So embrace it, embody it, become it, and own it boldly, and at the same time, your expression of it sparks curiosity and becomes someone else's learning, inspiration, motivation, empowerment, and hope. There are numerous interpretations of mental beauty as you give yourself permission to make it yours as you see fit. And no matter the perspective, with the openness of this invitational phrase of the mental beauty rethink, there is no right or wrong, good or bad, and absolutely zero judgment. Mental beauty allows you a new and clear lens to see mental well-being in the absence of stigma. Mental beauty becomes a much more invitational approach to break down barriers of mental stigma. Mental beauty is enveloped with full unconditional acceptance of yourself and of others. Mental beauty has the bountiful capacity to normalize mental well-being. When you embrace the mental beauty rethink concept, you automatically ignite that positive shift towards breaking down barriers of mental stigma. The collective richness of what this phrase has to offer is beneficial to all individuals, no matter what walk of life you come from or live in, all due to its shield against any form of negative connotation associations, while redefining what overall mental health is truly all about. Through the embodiment of the mental beauty rethink, each of you out there provide an opportunity to every individual in your community to be seen in equal light to physical health, which in turn achieves the endless possibilities for creating emotionally safe spaces for all to be in, while we fully immerse in self-healing, self-discovery, and self-fulfillment. I encourage each one of you out there to claim the mindset of the mental beauty rethink as your default way to view your world. Let this be a vow to each and every single one of us that we strive to make each of our communities globally open to emotional risk-taking, vulnerability, authenticity, unleashing, redefining, and continued storytelling. So, let's break that silence and tap into mental beauty. This is Salima Jadafji, your podcast host, a practicing social worker, and your mental wellness connoisseur. I am tremendously passionate and optimistic regarding all things mental health, with over 2 decades of experience in mental health across diverse sectors, including community services, private organizations, healthcare, and education. In my thriving private practice, as a specialist in transformational processes and trauma-informed practices, I lead as an expert in the mental health field, helping individuals navigate the complexities of anxiety, depression, perfectionism, grief, workplace and situational stressors, sleep disorders, among other challenges. Together, we navigate complexities using my deep understanding and professional skill set to empower my clients to regain control and thrive. My approach is deeply compassionate and committed, rooted in my life's purpose to serve and facilitate your journey towards healing and empowerment. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show as we step into a direction that allows us to dive deeper into mental beauty. Episode 110 of the Dare to Share Your Untold Story podcast, Mental Beauty segments. Today, we are focusing on self-love, learning it fully, and embodying it completely. I'm thrilled to have you all here as we continue our journey together. For those who are new to the podcast, a warm welcome from your self-care pro and mental wellness connoisseur. You're joining a community committed to breaking down the barriers of mental stigma and embracing the concept of mental beauty, a term which I have coined to intentionally invite each of you to embrace the nuances of what mental health is all about, while taking an approach that allows each of you to normalize, prioritize, equalize, and embody an invitational means of seeing and accepting mental well-being, and of course, without any judgment. Again, welcome to episode 110 of the Dare to Share Your Untold Story podcast, Mental Beauty segments. I'm excited to continue our journey together. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast. Together, we can break down stigma and promote the mental beauty rethink to its highest level. Thank you for being here, and let's get started. As we get started, please remember the insights shared in this podcast are intended to enlighten and entertain, not to replace professional medical advice. If you have any concerns or need guidance, please seek help from your healthcare providers. Take gentle care of yourself and know that support is always available. Today, we are diving into an incredibly important topic: self-love, learning it fully and embodying it completely. This discussion is inspired by episode 83, titled Her Story Unravelled, as she commenced the delayering process of unworthiness stemming from childhood, featuring Tara Myshrall. Tara's journey is a powerful example of persistence, delayering, and self-discovery. Her story grapples with the depths of unworthiness, leaving her to feel misunderstood and unseen in an earlier time. This shows that by unleashing yourself at your core and letting go of external validation allows change to take place. Tara's open sharing serves as a permission slip for all of us to expose our deep narratives and openly connect to the revelations with courage and hope. As she beautifully puts it, unleashing the wise feminine warrior within. Now let's listen to some powerful insights from Tara's journey. So Tara, tell me, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear this phrase, the mental beauty rethink?
I love it because I feel that for so long, mental health and mental illness have been something that have been ignored and not really given a space to explore because it has such a negative undertone. The beauty of what the mental beauty is, not to use beauty so much, but the niceness of that is that we can really dig into it and see that even if we're struggling with something, or if we are going through our ups and downs in life with our mental health, there is beauty in all of it, because all of those moments are what create the individual that we are, the skin we walk in, the soul that we represent, everything about us. So by having it classified as an illness, or always feeling like it's something is wrong with you, we don't really get to explore the other side of it, which is the beautiful side that the struggles create on the end. And, just reframing it with the beauty context, I think also makes people more willing to share and talk about it and bring to light some of the things that they could be struggling with, or even come on the other end of, that we need to hear about.
You nailed it, and then some.
Thanks.
It's really great because, first of all, there's definitely the intention was to create this idea where there's more openness and willingness for people to just take a crack in, tap in and see what's going on for themselves, and also an opportunity to recognize that mental wellness, just like physical wellness, you go through ups and downs through these experiences. It influences us to be who we are as a whole, right? The sum of all these parts, right? Your take on it and just the way you coined it and positioned everything, it just is so clear that the message is getting out there. Thank you, Tara Myshrall, for sharing such a rich and wholesome view of what mental beauty means to you. In her episode, Tara opens up about her struggles with feelings of unworthiness, never fully fitting in due to her mixed background and being the only girl in her family. She candidly shares how she learned to attach her worth to external achievements, desperately seeking love and acceptance that often eluded her. This pattern of attracting people who didn't value her worth only deepened the conditioning rooted in her past. Tara's mental beauty rethink is truly inspiring. She advocates for moving away from viewing mental health through a lens of illness and negativity. Instead, she proposes embracing a beauty perspective that encompasses acceptance of all our experiences. Tara believes that this shift allows us to see how every aspect of our journey, including our struggles, shapes who we are today and what we represent. What's particularly striking about Tara's perspective is how the term mental beauty opens up new avenues for expression. She believes it encourages people to share their stories more willingly, stories that need to be told and heard. This approach honors not just the outcome of experiences, but the entire process, including the beauty found in our struggles. Tara's enthusiasm for the mental beauty concept is palpable. Her message connects the dots between our challenges and the unique beauty they create within us. It's a perspective that celebrates our whole selves, not just the parts that society deems successful or normal. What Tara has shared with such openness brings both revelation and courage. Her insights show us how we can make a difference in breaking down mental health stigma by embracing the mental beauty rethink. This new way of seeing mental well being has the power to transform how we approach and discuss these crucial aspects of our lives. If you haven't already, I encourage you to listen to Tara's full episode. Her words about finding beauty in our struggles and honoring our entire journey are not just insightful, they are genuinely transformational. But don't go anywhere just yet. Stay with me for a moment as I have some important insights to share with you first. And then, of course, you can hop off and listen to her full episode. Let's explore how Tara's experiences align with the mental beauty rethink concept and dive deeper into her journey. Tara's journey, which she aptly describes as Phoenix Rising, unleashing the wise feminine warrior within, is a powerful testament to personal transformation and self-discovery. Her story embodies the essence of mental beauty, showcasing how struggles can lead to profound growth and self-realization. From childhood, Tara grappled with feelings of unworthiness and not fitting in, stemming from her mixed race background. This theme of displacement followed her through school, where her protective instincts were often misinterpreted as disruptive behavior. As she entered high school and university, Tara's identity crisis deepened, leading to a series of challenging relationships and a deterioration of her mental health. For years, Tara found herself in a cycle trying to prove her worth through external achievements and relationships. She became the breadwinner, adopting masculine traits to fit societal expectations of strength and success. This pattern of being everything to everyone while losing touch with her true self persisted for 2 decades. The turning point in Tara's journey came dramatically at age 40 when she suffered a stroke. This health crisis served as a wake-up call from the universe, signaling that something needed to change. It was through this challenging experience that Tara began her true transformation. Tara's mental beauty rethink is all about embracing all aspects of herself, the strength of a warrior and the nurturing nature of femininity. She learned to direct her focus inward, recognizing that true transformation comes from within rather than external validation. Her story beautifully illustrates the mental beauty concept. It shows us that our worth isn't determined by fitting into predefined categories or meeting others' expectations. Instead, mental beauty emerges when we embrace our unique journey, including our struggles and transformations. Tara's phoenix-like rise from her challenges demonstrates that our most difficult experiences can be the catalyst for unleashing our authentic selves. By sharing her story, Tara offers hope and inspiration. She shows us that it's never too late to break free from harmful cycles, to rediscover our true selves, and to find beauty in our entire journey, struggles and all. Her transformation reminds us that mental beauty is all about honoring all parts of our experience and using them to fuel our growth and self-acceptance. Now that you have listened to Tara's Mental Beauty Rethink and are clearer on how you can apply self-love, learning it fully and embodying it completely, let me share the story of a client whom we'll call Maria. In therapy, Maria struggled with a pervasive sense of unworthiness that had been deeply rooted in childhood trauma and abuse. Throughout her life, Maria found herself trapped in a cycle of unhealthy patterns, constantly feeling stuck in her own emotional chaos. These patterns were driven by unresolved traumas that she had never been given the space or support to fully understand. The triggers she encountered daily left her overwhelmed, and she couldn't quite grasp the source of her emotional turmoil. It wasn't until we began our work together that Maria started to see the connections between her past experiences and present struggles. We recognized that her feelings of unworthiness were not a reflection of who she was, but rather a response to the pain she had carried for so long. In our sessions, we delved deep into the layers of Maria's core, using mindful self-compassion tools to gently explore her inner child and the wounds that had shaped her life. Through this process, Maria began to delayer her past, one step at a time, peeling back the protective barriers she had built over the years. She learned to approach her younger self with kindness and understanding, recognizing the hurt and fear that had been buried for so long. As we moved from the deep past to her present experiences, Maria began to release the grip of unworthiness that had held her captive. She started to see herself with new eyes, worthy of love, care, and compassion. This breakthrough allowed Maria to break free from the chaotic cycles she had once believed were inescapable and to begin building a life rooted in self-love and acceptance. This transformation wonderfully illustrates the essence of mental beauty. The journey from self-doubt to self-acceptance. Maria's story shows how mental beauty emerges when we confront our past, understand its impact on our present, and choose to rewrite our narrative with compassion. It highlights that mental beauty isn't about perfection, but about embracing our whole self, including our struggles. This process of self-discovery, healing, and cultivating self-love embodies the true spirit of mental beauty, leading to a more authentic and emotionally free life. I know, I hear you saying to yourself, Salima, that's awesome for Maria and Tara, but I want to know how I can take charge too. Awesome sauce, because that is just what we are going to do now. All right. Now let's look at some practical tips that can help you embrace your own mental beauty. Here are 3 practical tips to help you get in tune with your inner child and improve your self-worth. 1. Engage in creative play. Set aside time each week to engage in activities that your inner child would enjoy, whether it's drawing, painting, dancing, or playing a musical instrument. This type of creative play allows you to reconnect with the joy and spontaneity of your childhood reminding you of your inherent worth outside of adult responsibilities and pressures. By nurturing your playful side, you tap into a sense of self that is pure and unburdened, helping to build a more positive self-image. Number 2, practice inner child meditation. Incorporate guided inner child meditations into your routine. These meditations often involve visualizing your younger self and offering them love, comfort, and reassurance. During these sessions, imagine yourself as a child and ask what they need from you right now. Listen with compassion and respond with kindness and affirmation. This practice helps you acknowledge and heal past wounds, fostering a deeper sense of self-worth and inner peace. Number 3, write letters to your inner child. Writing letters to your inner child can be a powerful way to improve self-worth. Begin by writing a letter from your adult self to your younger self, expressing understanding, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Address any fears or insecurities that have lingered from childhood. Offer words of support and encouragement. You can also write letters from your inner child to your adult self, allowing your younger self to voice their feelings and needs. This exchange helps bridge the gap between past and present, reinforcing your sense of self-worth by acknowledging your own emotional needs and experiences. It's essential to approach these practices with patience, compassion, and consistency. Remember that healing and building self-worth is a gradual process. It's okay to feel vulnerable as you connect with your inner child. Be gentle with yourself as you explore these exercises, allowing space for all the emotions that may arise. Celebrate small victories and moments of connection, knowing that each step you take in nurturing your inner child contributes to a stronger, more authentic sense of self-worth. By regularly engaging in these practices, you're not only honoring your past self, but also cultivating a more loving and accepting relationship with your present self, which is at the core of true mental beauty. I'd love to hear how you implemented these tips and what impact it had on you. Share your experiences in the comments. Let's take a moment to reflect on today's discussion. As we wrap up today's episode, let's move into our closing reflection where I'll share a special tool that I know will help you integrate today's learnings into your own mental beauty practice. Inspired by Tara's episode, I would like to share a self-care mantra to address unworthiness. A self-care mantra to address unworthiness could be, I am worthy of love, respect, and kindness. My value is inherent and does not depend on anyone else's approval. I honor and embrace my true self, knowing that I deserve to be treated with compassion and care. Let's say it again one more time. This time, recite it in your mind as you hear my words. I am worthy of love, respect, and kindness. My value is inherent and does not depend on anyone else's approval. I honor and embrace my true self, knowing that I deserve to be treated with compassion and care. Repeat this mantra daily, especially during moments of doubt, to reinforce your sense of self-worth and to remind yourself of your intrinsic value. Now, doesn't that feel so awesome and fantastic? I thought so. I really thought so. Okay. Well, my fellow listeners, thank you all for being here, for supporting this podcast, and for being your unique and awesome selves. I'm excited about the amazing things that we have on the horizon. Stay in the know about our upcoming events just for you, including our spring and late summer retreats and our webinars and digital supports on our website at daretoheal.co, or go to bit.ly/ Join the Dare to Heal community to sign up for our Dare to Hear newsletter and become part of our community of mental beauty-focused peeps. Plus, gain more tips and juicy insights like you enjoyed today, delivered straight into your inbox. Until next time, remember, you are worthy, you are beautiful, and your mental health matters. Now, before you go, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to check out episode 83 for more insights from Tara Myshrall on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. So now you can kick your feet back and hit play to give this episode a listen. Please recommend these episodes to your friends or loved ones, and let's spread the message of mental beauty. P.S. My lovely mental beauty listeners, I still dare you to share the podcast with anyone who could benefit from these insights. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe, leave a review, share something amazing you want me to give a shout out for on your behalf. Just send an email to mentalbeautycommunity@gmail.com. Share your desire to share your untold story as a guest. All you have to do is visit daretoshare.co, scroll down to where it says submit your story, and select submit now. And share today's mental beauty tip with a friend or a loved one. Spread mental beauty, stop the stigma. All right. Once again, thank you for being part of the Dare to Share Your Untold Story podcast, mental beauty segments, and embracing the uniqueness of the mental beauty rethink, which allows us all to have a voice in breaking down the barriers of mental stigma.